located. Now, this video that the ICE officer took of the shooting, I'm going to have to show you first so we can, talk about it. Apparently, he took this with his own cell phone. He walked completely around the car. So we have a 360, and he ended up in front of the vehicle, and that's when she tried to run him over. Apparently, this is how they train ICE officers now. I don't know if it's other federal agencies or just ICE, but they are trained to document on their cell phones everything that's going on. And of course, that is for their protection, so that we know that everything's okay. And thankfully they did. And in this video, it's so clear cut what happened. There's no question watching this video that the ICE officer was in the right. There's some things that just aren't debatable, right? And over the years, there have been so many high-profile police-involved shootings. There hasn't been one in a long time, and I don't recall ever one that was controversial involving a federal agent before. They're usually local law enforcement, but this is the first in many years when there's been a nationwide discussion, issue, and controversy over law enforcement shooting someone in self-defense, as this ICE officer did. And it's the first time out of all of these incidents that we have so much video documenting it. Now, we haven't even seen the body cam yet from the ICE officers, but we saw a lot of video that came out within the first 24 hours that was taken from these liberal lunatics who were actually there filming everything. And that cleared the officer right out. The ICE officer totally cleared from those. And now we have this cell phone video from the ICE officer himself. And what's also, not only does this show us everything that happens, it shows us what happened a little bit before. And usually when people take out their cell phones, for the most part, when people take out their cell phones to record something that's happening, right, the incident's already happened, and you usually see the aftermath. This officer filmed up close before anything had really happened yet. So you get context. All right, so let's go through this. We first have to go through the video of the incident, and then I'll share with you this idiot, lunatic, irresponsible Mayor Fry of Minneapolis and his response. Okay, so there you have it, and it's pretty clear cut. I mean, they were antagonizing him. The wife that survived told her to go, told her to drive, and then you see and hear the officer was hit. We've never seen video quite like this of a law enforcement involved shooting before. Never. And the mayor of Minneapolis, who has been antagonizing everything and just raising the hostilities and everything in Minneapolis, which is the opposite of what you want to do, he commented on the video after it was released. This is the mayor. Listen to his response. That's it. He totally excuses it. So let's go back to the video, and then we'll play his response. When you're injured, there's a lot of adrenaline. And this officer, there's obviously a lot of adrenaline, especially after he was hit by the vehicle and fired his weapon in self-defense. That adrenaline, when you're injured, keeps you going. You don't feel the pain yet. It's the next day or maybe even later that day when you feel the adrenaline. I remember once when I was younger, I broke um, uh, all the toes in my right foot. And when it first happened, I didn't feel anything. But about 2 hours later, holy smokes, it was like a sledgehammer just hit my foot, right? These are the kind of things that happen. All right, here's the video again. And you can hear he got hit pretty bad. And then the mayor's response. This mayor is the most irresponsible public official I have ever seen when there's been an incident. This mayor is the mayor of Crazy Town. He's crazy. His city is crazy, and he's amping things up. And what he's doing is he very well could cause more violence. I'm going to go through a little later. There was a big uprising in Minneapolis. They were trying to break in and tear down a hotel in Minneapolis because ICE agents were staying there. This is in the Daily Mail. Defiant Minneapolis mayor dismisses new ICE shooting video and says agent walked away with a hop in his step as protesters stormed the city streets in outrage over the mother of three death. The liberals in general, the Democrats in this country are being so irresponsible. When we've had police involved shootings in the past that have been controversies and national news stories, there's always been activists who took to the streets and said crazy, stupid, irresponsible things. I don't recall elected officials talking this way before. Now, if you're on hold, stand by. If you would like to call in and you're watching live, the number is pinned in the live chat. It's toll free, 888-465-2631. It's a toll free call no matter where you are watching from. 888-465-2631. Now, this new mayor, this Democratic socialist, the Seattle mayor. She's the one who lives with her parents, right? She became the mayor, and she sends out a message to ICE. Listen to this. Mm. Yeah. Why don't you, have you moved out of your parents' house yet, Mayor? Um, Bernie Sanders, I think, lived with his parents till he got elected mayor of that idiot town in Vermont where he got his first job was as the mayor. This arrest of illegals that are in the country illegally, they are all calling it now, the Democrats, kidnapping. These are people that are in the country illegally. It's not kidnapping. You are arresting federal fugitives from justice. Hmm. Here we go. Okay, so she's talking, when she says immigrants, of course she's talking about the illegals. So what's going on here, right? Why all of a sudden have we seen this major increase in violence between federal immigration agents and uh, uh, the illegals, right? And we're seeing a lot of coverage in the with the mayors, right? It's Mayor of Minneapolis, the governor of Minnesota, and this idiot Seattle mayor. There's a similar thing from the weirdo lady mayor of Portland. What's going on here? Well, I think it's obvious. Okay, this is the Cloward and Piven strategy. The leftists got caught by Nick Shirley's incredible reporting 2 weeks ago yesterday about the Somali pirates of Minneapolis and throughout Minnesota that have ripped off the government, the federal government. About $17 billion was the initial reporting. We know the Democrats set up this operation, and there's a panic in Democrat circles of top Democrats involved in this, like Governor Walz going to jail. And what they've done is activated their lunatic leftists to create these acts of violence. Remember, Cloward and Piven overwhelm the system so that it collapses, and then we can get everything we want. They're trying to stop from getting arrested. They're trying to stop the federal agents from uncovering the fraud that they've committed. That's why all of a sudden there's been a mass increase. All right, now listen to this. We're starting to get some information on the auditing going on in Tim Walz's Minnesota. Mm-hmm. Listen to this. See that? Mm-hmm. Wow. Mm. Oh yeah. That's right. Okay, there you got it. So they've got the documents. Tim Walz's state officials were doctoring the documents. The audit is happening, and if you remember, when the incident first happened, and the idiot mayor got up there and said, "Get the f out of Minneapolis," and then Tim Walz right after said what he said. Both the mayor and Tim Walz, both of them said, "Get out of it, feds, get out of here." They're trying to get the feds out of Minnesota that are uncovering their fraud. They're in a panic, and that's why there's been an uptick and all this violence being committed against ICE agents, they've activated their lunatic activists. They have these useful idiots out there that they've activated to start attacking federal agents to try to stop them from getting busted with their financial crimes. Okay, I'm going to take some calls. If you're on hold, stand by. If you want to call in, the number's pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning. Good morning,
Hey,
Brian.
Richie.
This is Richie.
Hey, Richie.
I like that watch you get on, brother.
Oh, it's my Trump
beautiful
watch.
Yes. I see that. It looks good on you.
My wife got this for Christmas for me. Isn't it nice?
I think it's beautiful. I think
I love it.
Especially since President Trump is on there, because that's the best.
Oh yes.
I'm going to say a couple things, and I want to address something. I believe that you are a very responsible podcaster. You're also very responsible on the radio, and you don't want to flame anything. And you have to be very careful because you don't want to do that. I know that Ben from Pompano called you, and he used a 3-letter word, which I won't say, and you said, why would you say that? Well, the fact of the matter is Ben was right, Brian. And what you're saying this morning, the evidence, the video. First of all, I gotta correct you on something. The great new bill did not include body cams for federal agents, and a lot of them don't have them. And that's why the police officer had that cell phone out, Mayor Frey, or whatever your name is, because he wanted to prove that if anything happened, he wasn't going to get nailed like you're trying to do. I don't think he had a body cam on him, because a lot of them don't have body cams.
We don't know for sure yet. Maybe not. We don't know, and we don't know if some of the others have. But typically body cams, they're too jiggly, and you can't see very well. I'd be surprised if there is one. I would be shocked if it was even close to as good as the cell phone camera.
Right. Now I'm going to say a couple things here, and they don't care. Everything you have said here is spot on, but you're a logical thinking human being with a brain between your ears. You are looking at revolutionary people that want to overthrow the United States.
Yeah.
And they're going to use any excuse, and this is going to spread. And there's no question in my mind, they don't give a darn about what they see in the video. You have a police chief in Philadelphia. I hope you have that video.
While I answer the phones here. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I saw the guy in Philadelphia.
That video, you saw that? That's the worst.
Yeah.
I mean, so the bottom line is can I say that word that Ben?
No, I didn't let him say.
Okay, you see, you don't want. Yeah, all right. I won't say it, but there's a problem in this country, and it's not gonna stop. So I don't know what the solution is.
Well, this is the solution. It's being reported today that the federal government has sent thousands of more federal agents into Minneapolis, and they're going to start doing
what's going to happen?
Mass arrest of people.
Yeah, it's going to get really bad. Because these people are. Did you see the old lady screaming, "Shoot me, shoot me, shoot me"?
I've seen it all.
This is crazy. She looks like. Yeah, they're all like that. They're like possessed from the devil. But they're marching through the streets. They started looting in the stores of Minnesota.
Yeah, but the difference is now is that we have people in charge. That's President Trump, and I find it so interesting that even still this far in, it's been 2 weeks and a day since Nick Shirley's story dropped. It's Kristi Noem, not Pam Bondi, that's taking the lead. So, which is not an accident. So President Trump is not. He's not playing around here. And if they have to arrest 20,000 people, they're going to arrest 20,000 people. And if you notice, Kristi Noem keeps referring to them as domestic terrorists.
They are. Mm-hmm. That's the problem here. But there are so many of them. And you know who's in charge of them? The Democratic Party.
That's right.
My wife is from Venezuela. In the ghettos of Venezuela, they call it up in the mountain. Mm-hmm. There's cativos. I think cativos. They're the armed militia of Maduro. And the drug people, they have the guns in Venezuela.
Yeah, that's true.
So whenever
I'm going to move on, but you make some good points. I agree with most of them. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Montana, Mark.
Hey, Mark. What's up?
You know, it's so crazy what's happening with that officer that was protecting himself.
Mm-hmm.
The Democrats and the mainstream media will never tell the truth.
Yeah.
Because there's videos talking about those two women were involved with two groups that were like terrorists to stop anything that the ICE agents do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I agree with you where they're doing all that stuff to get rid of the ICE agents to keep from being exposed with the fraud.
Correct.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. This Somali fraud operation, that's why they've amped things up. They're in a panic. And you can see it. You know, in that video I played of the mayor, I'll play it again later, when he was analyzing the police cell phone video, he looked very nervous. His lips were quivering.
And you know, the other thing that came out is that ICE agent that lady tried to kill, some time ago, he was involved in another situation with two Trinidad gang members in a car.
Yeah, they drug him. They hit him and drug him down the road, yeah.
He got dragged like 50 yards, and he had to have like 30 stitches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, you know, if I was out there protecting the people, I would be very nervous because there are many attacks on the ICE
Especially when they hit
agents.
you with their car. That makes you nervous, too, when you get hit by their car and they're trying to kill you.
And I've seen all the videos, and you can see the lady turned her front tires to go directly at him, you know, so. But I appreciate your hard work and keep up the good job.
All right, well, I appreciate it, Montana Mark. Take care. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike.
You know, when you played that mayor from Seattle, the mayor of Seattle, and she's saying, well, I'm giving the order to the police to not help ICE, right?
Mm-hmm.
She said that. So, okay, that's another brick in the wall. Every time one of these mayors like Karen Bass and this one and the one in Brandon Johnson in Chicago and all that stuff, that's another brick in the wall for the Democrats in the road down charge of insurrection.
That's true. I mean, there's a nationwide insurrection. So let me agree with you, Mike. Thanks for the call. This is the video of the mayor of Minneapolis again, this Fry idiot, discounting the cell phone video. So when I play it this time, just pay attention to his face, in particular his mouth. He looks very nervous. His lips are kind of like quivering, like he's, you know, having an anxiety attack. See what I mean in his mouth? He looks scared. Yeah, doesn't he? Doesn't he look nervous? Does to me. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, my name is Christina from Indiana.
Christina from Indiana. What's on your mind?
Well, I was just watching you live on YouTube, and you were talking about the latest shooting in Minneapolis, and wanted to know what was going on with that.
Well, what do you want to know about it? I mean, it's been going on in the news. We now have this new footage I've been showing from the ICE agent, and we saw the whole thing. She hit him with the car. Her wife that survived told her to drive away while the officer was in front of the vehicle.
Really quick, you said that she hit him with the car, like literally hit him with the car?
Yeah, you can hear it. Yeah, he's holding the phone when she does it.
He is holding the phone?
Yeah. And this is not the only video. This is only about the 50th video we've seen. There have been multiple videos from far away where we've seen.
Who are you referring to when you say he?
Excuse me?
Who are you referring to when you say he? Who are you referring to when you say he?
Are you okay? Do you have a learning disability or something? Because if you are, I don't want to give you a hard time.
Well, no, I'm just trying to understand what exactly you're saying. I'm asking you to clarify.
There have been no fewer than several dozen videos of this incident from every angle We have we've seen images. The first images we saw, live video. And by the way, other than the cell phone video from the ICE agent, which I'm showing now on YouTube, all the other video was taken by your liberal idiot friends that were there harassing the ICE agents. And there's been multiple videos from the front angle where you see her from far away actually hit the officer. Now with this video,
I want to be very clear though.
I
want to be very clear, and I want you to be I want you to be fair in what you see there, because if you take a still image at his very first shot, he is literally next to the vehicle.
No, he's on.
Meaning he waited. No. He waited until the vehicle was clear of him to pull the first shot. I'm literally looking at the still image of it right now.
I'm playing the live video. I've seen multiple live videos. He was trying to. Excuse me for He was trying to get out of the way of the vehicle because they sped off while he was right in the center of it. He didn't completely clear the vehicle, and they hit him with the driver's side front. Go. I'm going to play.
Okay, I want you to. Question is.
Go ahead.
I guess the very important question is why were they even come up to our vehicle to begin with?
You cannot be serious. They are. ICE agents are federal agents, like the FBI, the Secret Service, ATF. They're federal agents. They're involved in official business. They're involved in a deportation operation. This woman and her wife and their dog that was in the vehicle were the lead vehicle in a group of lunatic leftist activists that throughout the entire day were following and harassing the ICE agents. The woman that and her wife put their car in front of the ICE vehicle, blocked the road so they couldn't pass, and set up a blockade. ICE agents came up and ordered her to leave the vehicle. She would not exit the vehicle. Her wife got back in the vehicle and told her wife to drive off with the officer in front of the vehicle, and they hit him. It's in the video. I'm going to play it again when I'm done talking to you. I'm playing it now with the sound off, but I'm going to unmute it when we're done speaking.
Okay, understand. You made several misconceptions in your very statement. First of all, she was not with any organization whatsoever. She had just finished dropping off her 6-year-old child.
No, she's from another state. No, she's she's from another state.
Hold on.
She's from another state. She is not only.
Hey, I let you talk. I literally let you talk.
No, I'm letting you. It's my show, and excuse me. It is my show, and I'm letting you talk.
Fair with other people, though.
No, excuse me. It's my show, and I'm letting you talk. Okay, you're not letting me talk. I'm letting you talk. Okay, there's a big difference.
For 5 minutes, but I'm not allowed to rebuttal. You won't let people rebuttal.
Well, you're saying things that are not true, and I'm not going to allow a false narrative. She is with an anti-ICE organization, and she was actually a trainer training other Antifa activists on how to obstruct ICE agents. So yeah, she is with an organization.
Okay, that's literally not what 5 bystanders told the police when they got
Well, guess
interviewed.
what? They lied. Hey, listen, I'm going to move on, but call me on another show. It's 1 call per show. You're welcome to call me next time. Take care. I'm not going to sit here and just allow somebody to tell us, don't believe your lying eyes. Now, this is the cell phone video from the police officer. Or from the ICE agent. See, now right here, a federal agent, like any other law enforcement, you have blocked their car. They tell you to get out of the car. You are obligated to get out of your vehicle at that point. Okay? So now they're resisting, and then they try to escape. Let me rewind the whole thing. I'll play it uninterrupted. Boy, oh boy. If you're on hold, stand by. If you'd like to call in, please do. The number is pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. Here we are. It is tax season. It is that time of year to do your taxes, and you definitely want to call Jamie Levac over at Swift Tax. Jamie Levac at Swift Tax can help you with your taxes no matter where you're located in the United States. He's located here in South Florida like I am, but if you're in another state or even another country, he can handle your taxes too. And by the way, not just your federal taxes, but your state income tax, your local taxes, he can help you with everything. He does a great job. I've already heard from many listeners who have just been praising Jamie Levac and the great work that he does. You know, the big, beautiful bill, the entire tax code has changed. Jamie Levac not only knows the new tax code inside and out, he knows the big, beautiful bill inside and out, and he'll make sure that you get all the tax deductions that you are entitled. This is the year, according to the Treasury Secretary, people are going to get their biggest returns ever. Call Jamie Levac right now at Swift Tax, 954-773-1587. 954-773-1587. That's 954-773-1587. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, my name is Tanya. I'm calling from North Carolina.
Hey, Tanya, what's on your mind?
Well, I listened to your comments just now. First of all, I want to respect the woman that was murdered on Wednesday.
Murdered?
She was murdered.
What does that mean?
In cold blood. They murdered her.
Who's they?
The ICE agent.
Uh-huh. So, okay, go ahead.
First of all, they said that, you know, she was there. Basically, she was an antagonist. Mm-hmm. She wasn't.
Let me stop you right there, because I want to talk to you, okay?
Okay.
These two women took their vehicle. They passed the ICE agents that they'd been following around all day. They pulled their car in the middle of the road, blocking traffic both directions, blockading the car, the ICE officers in. So how is it okay to blockade law enforcement in their vehicle in the road like that?
Okay, first of all, she didn't block traffic.
Oh my
As you look at the video, you see other vehicles going past her.
They blocked the ICE agents.
When that ICE agent pulled up on her, and he was coming, you know, at a decent speed for it to be, quote unquote, snow on the ground. Yeah. He stepped in front of her. He stepped in front of her truck.
No, listen, when you're pulled over by law enforcement, whether it's federal agents or your local police, okay, and they
pulled her over.
Yeah, they detained her. They told her to get out of her vehicle. At that point, you were not free to go. You were being detained.
But why? She wasn't doing anything.
They blocked their vehicle so that they could not exit, and there was a crowd of your liberal friends that was coming up behind them and surrounding them.
First of all, you don't know if I'm a liberal or not.
I know exactly what you are. I know exactly. You're a liberal. Admit it. I'd be embarrassed too if I were you. But you aren't.
No, I'm not embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed.
Well, then why?
Yeah.
Then admit it. You're a liberal. You're a Democrat. You voted for Kamala Harris.
But what does it matter? It doesn't matter. Because right is right, wrong is wrong.
Yeah, and your perception is you have it in. No, she was not murdered. She tried to murder a federal agent.
She did not. Why are y'all running with this lie?
We've got the videos.
It's a lie.
There are about 50 videos.
Yes, we got the Yes, everybody I think by this time has seen the videos, and your stories and their stories. It's not.
There's no story when you've got videos. You're saying don't believe your lying eyes. There's no story. We have videos.
Okay, so I want to ask you a question. So when we saw on TV January 6th, that didn't happen either, huh?
Well, this isn't January 6th, and even in your perception. No, excuse me. What you're doing is I'm not going to debate January 6th. Your perception of it's wrong, but I'm not going to debate it. But what you're doing, okay, say that your position on January 6th was accurate, which it's not. It doesn't matter. What you're doing is called the you're another fallacy. You're trying to make wrong right by pointing to something else that's wrong. Not that January 6th happened the way you think.
No, that's what you're doing.
January 6th is irrelevant. This has nothing to do with January 6th.
No, it's not irrelevant because the same lies that you were trying to put out then about January 6th, it was a peaceful protest. Why
do you not like President Trump?
He is not a good person, honey. He is soulless.
He's what?
That man is soulless. He doesn't have a soul.
He just liberated Venezuela.
He doesn't have a soul.
He just liberated Venezuela.
Why did he go over there messing with people?
Because Venezuela has been attacking our country.
Because he wanted oil. He wants to take over that country.
No,
he wants
we've already taken it over because Venezuela's been attacking us for years.
When?
Okay. I've got somebody on the line who's liberally impaired people. The Trinidad de Agua and MS-13 gang members are from Venezuela that have been murdering Americans, raping them and murdering them in many instances. They've been invading our country by land over the southern border by the millions. They've been bringing the drugs into our country that have been killing our people. That's
okay.
How
Well,
we've
what
been
about
under
the
attack.
other people that's bringing drugs in? What about the other people that's bringing drugs in?
Drug importation by the cartels by sea in the country is down 97% in the last 2 months because of President Trump's actions against Venezuela. He's shut it down. He's shut down 97% of the illegal drugs coming into the country. And you're telling me that that's wrong because 3% are still squeezing through?
Venezuela doesn't have the fentanyl. The fentanyl is what's killing people when they're on drugs.
It is fentanyl. The drug boats that President Trump has been blowing out of the water are boats loaded with fentanyl in barrels.
He's just killing people. He's a bully.
A bully. Okay.
He's
all right. I appreciate the call. These people, their minds are gone. They're beyond help. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Okay, I'm William.
Yeah,
and,
William.
I'm in Yanceyville, North Carolina.
All right, William in North Carolina. What say you?
Well, I just want to clear this up. That woman was impeding the ICE agents. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Well, what did the ICE agents tell her to do?
Get out of the effing car.
They did say that.
Mm-hmm.
I heard them also say, move, move, move. Because if you're impeding and you get out of the car, your car is still impeding.
Oh, so you think that the officers told her to run over the other agent? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I'm not saying that because I only saw it 1 or 2 times.
Well, what are you saying?
If she's...
Let me play the video. Let me play it again. Hold on. You're not going to be able to hear this, but everybody else will. You can, if you turn up your computer, you can hear it. Okay, but there's a delay. All right, turn up your computer. I'm going to play it again for the audience. Okay, I'm going to play the whole thing. Hold on, you just turn up your computer and you can hear it. I've been playing it for 30 or 40 minutes.
See, I don't know what it is on my phone.
Listen, you got to stop talking so everybody can hear it. Okay, I'm playing it for the audience. I'm not going to put you on hold.
Okay.
But I'm playing it for the audience. If
all right. Let me know. Let me know when I'm.
All right.
Clear.
Just stop talking, and I'll let you know.
All right.
Okay, now we hear the federal agents say, get out of the car, get out of the car. Get out of the effing car. Get out. No, they did not say get out of the way. Get out of the effing car. Her surviving wife said drive. Sorry.
And I noticed that the officer that went in front of the car, I've heard from seasoned officers that's a no. You don't stand in front of a car. You don't stand behind the car. You stand on the side. And that's just common sense.
Oh, okay, so it's the officer's fault that she got in the car, disobeyed orders, and her wife said drive, and she ran him over. Oh my goodness! Hey, listen, I gotta run. I'm due back on the planet Earth. I mean, my goodness, I have a headache talking to these liberals. If you're on hold, stand by. If you'd like to call in, the number is pinned in the live chat. It is one call per show, so you can call me on every day, but you can only call me once per program. My name's Brian Craig. If you're new, this is where MAGA comes to talk. Our number is toll free 888-465-2631 888-465-2631. If you'd like to support my channel and all my content, become a Patreon supporter. There's a link to my Patreon page in the description of this and every episode, okay? You click there and you get access. Not only are you supporting my program, but you get access to all kinds of exclusive content, including members-only live streams on the Patreon platform and commercial-free editions of all my podcast episodes. Become a Patreon supporter. There's a link in the description of this and every episode. If you'd like to call in, the number is pinned in the live chat, 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
Low pricing now.
All right, we're back. Callers on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
All right, we're back. Callers on hold, stand
You're
by.
on the
I'm
air.
Brian. This is where MAGA
Yep,
comes to
once, twice.
You're on the air.
All right, you missed your chance. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Pardon?
Yeah, hold on one second. Yeah, pardon. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Jonathan Dale Calhoun.
Yeah.
From North Carolina.
John, what's up?
From Jefferson, North Carolina.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I've been noticing a lot of situations in North Carolina. If you got a speed trap set up, and you go through the speed trap and you flash the light at an oncoming car, you can get ticketed for that, and they're doing the same thing here, beeping their horns and everything. I'm pretty sure in the state of North Carolina, you get a ticket for that.
When you're detained by police, as they were done, the ICE agents are federal police officers. When you're detained, when they tell you to get out of your car, you're being detained. When you get in your car and you speed off, even if you're not running over law enforcement like they were doing, you're now making an escape. You've committed a felony.
Exactly.
You've committed a felony.
Exactly, but these people driving in the neighborhoods, beeping their horns and all that, blowing whistles, I'm pretty sure in the state of North Carolina that'd be illegal. You get a ticket for that.
Probably true everywhere. All right, appreciate the call. Yes. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. Speak up.
Can you hear me?
I can.
How you doing today? My name is Donnell. I'm from Detroit, Michigan.
Hey, what's up, Detroit?
Hey, how you doing today?
All right.
So I was just calling because I definitely support what's going on with ICE, but I had one question. Is it possible because of the wife and her actions, could she get convicted for manslaughter or murder too, or conspiracy?
I would think manslaughter may be on the table because she got in the car and told her wife to escape, make their escape, drive after they were detained. So yeah, I mean and even she confessed right after the incident. The wife was seen by witnesses. She says, it's my fault. I made her come here. I got her killed.
Right, I've seen that. Yeah, everybody doesn't, there's a lot of crazy people in this world, and I also tell a lot of people there's right from wrong, and there's evil, and there's good.
Yes.
You can't try to be in between, and I'm going to say this, I did vote Democrat for a while, and it took me a long time to wake up myself, but once I did and I actually sat down and listened, man, it opens your world up.
Yeah, that's right. Well, good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, that's all I wanted. That's all.
All right. Well, welcome to the show. Call me again sometime. You're a very good caller. Take care. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Chili. I'm calling from Los Angeles, California.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna push back a little bit about some of the things that you're saying here. So you're saying that it was a legal order. Do you know the difference between an unlawful directive and a lawful directive?
When you're stopped by law enforcement and they tell you to exit your vehicle, you are being detained. What you're talking about is something that you argue when you get to court. You're not a lawyer on the street in a courtroom.
Brian, I'm a constitutional law scholar. I got 6 times the following you do. Don't tell me what the law is. I know what the law is.
I'll tell you whatever.
That's an unlawful directive.
No.
He's not a law enforcer. He's a peace officer. There's no such thing as a law enforcer.
When you are on the street and you block a law enforcement vehicle,
you can tell me whatever you want, but you're wrong.
Well, we'll find out, won't we? The President of the United States, who has a following larger than yours, disagrees. So since following size is what makes right or wrong, the President is right.
Oh, so the President is the moniker, the benchmark for what's right and wrong? The same guy who's on the Epstein list that's hiding the files?
He's not hiding anything, and we're not talking about Epstein here. You can talk about Epstein on your show. Telling me I appreciate the call. You mentioned Epstein here. These are all distractions. See, what I was telling, when this video, before even this video of the ICE officer came out, and we had the video taken from the liberal lunatics on the scene, and we could see that she hit the officer. This one's different because we could hear the audio perfectly and see the video on this cell phone camera. This is the first time that we've had a high-profile police-involved shooting that we've had so much footage of. Usually what happens Usually what happens is you get film footage after the incident, or you have no footage at all, and you have eyewitness testimony. And there are at least 30 to 50 videos from different angles, not just this ICE officer, taken from these liberal lunatics that were surrounding the place. Okay? And when you see the videos that we've been seeing, you can see what happened. So all these leftists that are trying to create these false narratives, you can't create a false narrative when we're seeing the video and everyone is seeing it. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, Pete from Oakland Park.
Hey, Pete, what's up?
Yeah, the thing I just don't understand about all these people, like a lot of the people that are calling in on the show this morning.
The liberals, the liberal lunatics?
Oh, yeah, those crazy people. But, you got like Tampon Tim, you got this Frey that's the mayor of Minnesota.
Minneapolis.
And, Minneapolis, I'm sorry. But those people, they're unless they're doing something for the Somalians, like, making sure they got plenty of money and having solidarity with them. The thing these people don't understand is those Somalians, they don't care nothing about American citizens. They could care less about American citizens. The only thing they want is what they can get out of the people, and which we've seen with that. What is it? 28 billion now or something? They think it's
the number goes up every day. But I want to keep the focus on what we're talking about here. While I said earlier, on the program that this increase in violence against federal agents that we're seeing nationwide is being done by the Democrats as a way to try to stop the federal investigation into the Somali fraud operation. Obviously,
absolutely,
what it is.
Absolutely, I agree with you 100%. But those people, when a law officer tells you to do something, you do it. And if they had done it, they'd both still be together and alive this morning.
That's right.
And enjoying that.
I mean, there's none of us have. If you've driven a car on the road, you've probably been pulled over. Although my daughter has been driving for over 10 years, she's never been pulled over or ticketed, so that's good. But I've been pulled over by police throughout my life, from the time I started driving in high school and even as an adult. I've never sped away when they've stopped me. They had their lights on and they're out. I've never sped away and made a run for it.
After I retired from construction, remodeling and stuff, I always wanted to drive a truck. So I got my CDL and I drove a truck for 7 years. And I was pulled over several times by law officers, and they want to do a check on my equipment. And I've never had a problem with any of them. They, if they tell me to shut my truck off and then turn my lights on and all that.
You do. What the last guy called from California that said he was some illegal guy. There's a difference between making a legal argument in court than on the street. On the street, you're not in a courtroom. And I don't know if any of you guys on, if you're watching me right now, you watch YouTube. You watch YouTube videos.
I'm watching you right now.
One of my favorite things to watch are these idiot sovereign citizens. Any of you ever watch the sovereign citizens? They get pulled over by police. They won't roll the window down. They got no ID. I'm not driving. I'm traveling. All this crap. And it always
I don't
ends.
know if you've seen one.
It always ends with the police breaking the window and pulling them out of the car. You don't make your case on the street. Hey, listen, welcome to the show. Thanks for the call. I'm going to move on. But you don't make your legal case on the side of the road. You do that in a court of law. I wanted to play this. This is one of these. This is the police chief from Portland. And if you remember, in Portland, some Trinidad de Agua illegals 2 days ago rammed some ICE agents, and there was a shooting there. And this is the police chief. This is the police chief of Portland. Wow. I mean, that's what a coward. I mean, he's crying for the Trinidad de Agua terrorist is who he's crying for in Portland. Now, I want to play this again, and I want to point something out to you. This is, again, if you're on hold, stand by, and if you'd like to call in, the number is toll-free no matter where you're watching. It's pinned. The toll-free number is pinned in the live chat if you're watching live, 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. I want to highlight something here from this video. This is the ICE agent's cell phone video camera, okay? Let me turn up the volume, and then I want to play it for you uninterrupted, then I want to go back and highlight one part of it. Okay, now the part I want you to hear when you, and I'm going to tell you what you're listening for, and you'll hear it, right? The question is, did he hit her, or did she hit him? Did he fire? Was it justified when he fired? You hear this noise before the gunshots. That's the car hitting the ICE agent. The gunshots come after you hear the noise of him getting hit by the vehicle. Listen. You hear that? You hear the car hit him, and then he fired. There you go. That's it. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. This is Norm calling from upstate New York.
Hey, what's up, Norm?
I thought I could possibly answer the question that you have in detail about why these insufferable white women are the most insufferable.
The Karens. Okay.
It has to do with
Mm-hmm.
What's that?
The Karens.
It has to do with Yeah, it has to do with projection, but I wanted to give it more down into detail. You cannot love or hate something about another person unless it mirrors and reflects to you something that you either love or hate about yourself.
Okay. Maybe. Yeah, that's part of it. Yeah.
They're just projecting.
Okay. All right. Appreciate the call.
So
you make a lot of good points there. All right. Now the rest of you on hold, stand by. And again, the number is pinned in the live chat if you would like to call in. I got some other audio I want to play. Hold on a second here. No, I don't want to share that one. I wanted to, where is this? Where is this video? Hold on a second, guys. Okay, this is the one. Okay, I wanted to make sure I got the right one. This is CNN. Listen to this, CNN. You notice how they're describing these? A mom, a wife, a married couple. These were Trinidad de Agua people that are involved in human trafficking. Human trafficking is slave trafficking. And also, they rammed the ICE vehicle trying to escape. Married couple. Yeah, and the Maryland man. You know, it's really insane what's going on here. And, you know, the problem that they're having is a problem they've never had before. Is there's too much video, which we've never had before, and there's too much media out there, right, that they don't control. You know, in the old days, when they just had when they just had the three networks and CNN, they could craft a false narrative, and that would be the dialogue. Now there's people like me and all this video that we can show and share everything. This is a city councilman in Minneapolis. Renee Good, who we heard in that video, you hear her hit the ICE officer with her car before the shots are fired. Oh my goodness. Rise up. The immigrant neighbors is their code word for illegals. I mean, my Lord. I mean, he's calling for an uproar. I wonder what his immigration status is, that guy. You know, if he's a naturalized U.S. citizen, what he's doing is very illegal, and that can get you denaturalized and deported. This is what was going on last night in Portland. These are local police, the local lunatics, like the ones that have been harassing the ICE officers, took to the streets and were trying to tear down this hotel. Things are so bad. Even the liberal mayor and liberal police chief of Minneapolis have to get their officers out there in riot gear. They're so out of control there. They're so out of control, they've moved the attacks beyond ICE now to their own law enforcement. Here they are again. This is also all last night in Minneapolis. And, you know, and I mean, look at this. It's just a madhouse. They have taken over the city. And this is because they heard ICE agents were staying in this particular hotel. And now they're attacking their own police. So if they justify attacking federal agents because they're ICE officers, how do they justify attacking their own local liberal police that have tears in their eyes for them? And this is all footage. All the footage we're seeing, except the ICE officer cell phone footage, is all taken mostly from people inside the crowd. This is Nick Sorter, who's there on the street risking his life. And look at this. They're running the cops off. Look at that. That cop ran into the police cruiser. He walked into the car. The police are on retreat. These people, and think about this. These liberals in the streets that have been harassing ICE are so dangerous, so violent, so emboldened that their own police have been run off and are retreating. They're scared. So scared, he backed up into his own vehicle and almost fell backwards. Never seen anything like this. I mean, if they're terrorizing their own left-wing police, you can only imagine what they're doing to ICE agents. Yeah, this is we're at a whole new level here with the left, and you know the thing about all of this, if Donald Trump, if anyone else were president other than Donald Trump, things would be going in a much different way than they're going now. But Donald Trump's the president. Now, there's some other things in the news I want to talk about. This is, what's going on in Iran is amazing. You know, these spoiled babies in Minneapolis and Portland and Seattle, wherever else. Right now, Iran is, the people of Iran are on the verge of overthrowing the Ayatollah, the Islamic Republic. They've been out in the streets for days by the thousands protesting against the government. The last time there was any protest against the government was when Obama was president, and the Iranian regime sent the army and police out in the streets to murder the protesters. President Trump told Iran if they do that this time, he's coming after them. And after he blew up the nuclear plant, the nuclear development center a couple months ago, they know not to mess with Donald Trump. And the numbers of protesters is growing and growing and growing in Iran, and the government has been able to do nothing. I was watching early this morning some video out of Iran where Iranian women started a bonfire and they were burning their hijabs that they're required to wear under Islamic law. This is a young Iranian girl who did something that if she did this a few days ago would have gotten her killed. She has a photograph of the Ayatollah. She lights it on fire, and then she uses the burning photograph of the Ayatollah to light her cigarette, and her face is not hidden. Look at this. This is amazing. The Islamic Republic of Iran is on the verge of collapse when the people are rising up like this. They are doing things that have never been done before in Iran, and it's all happening because of President Trump. President Trump liberated Venezuela, and then she gave the middle finger is international symbol there because she also used the middle finger. Yeah, she would have been executed. And not just her, by the way, her entire family would have been executed. And you see what these brave people are doing in Iran for freedom. And then you've got these spoiled brats here in this country, in Minneapolis, that are trying to take over the city because of deportations of Trinidad Agua gang members is taking place. They don't even understand the difference. You know, these people, you know, this is, not only is Iran on the verge of being liberated because of these people in the streets, right now, Cuba has been going without oil deliveries from Venezuela for quite some time. And it's believed that Cuba will fall without the gas, and they will. And there has not been a single story that I have seen out of Cuba to show us what the conditions are in Cuba without them getting the oil shipments. And there's one American news outlet that has had a bureau for 20 plus years in Havana. And that, of course, is CNN. Canada and the Europeans have permanent news bureaus in Havana. None of them have done a story on the impact of the oil being cut off from Venezuela because they don't want the truth to be seen of what's going on there. Last night, Laura Ingraham interviewed J.D. Vance. That's right. Yeah, he is exactly right. See, we've never had, we had a little bit of it in President Trump's first term, but things got they got pretty chaotic. But now we're getting really for the first time at a nationwide level, a massive crackdown. You know, there's a couple of things that are not working in favor of these leftist lunatics when it comes to what happened in Minneapolis. One, we have all this video that totally clears the officer, including this where you hear the car hit him before the shots fired. And also because the woman is white. She was white. If she were black, they would get the race card going, right? And they're not able to get a race card going. Now, I'm going to turn this up, but you'll hear the car hit the officer before he fires the shots. Listen, you'll hear the boom. Hear him? You hear him get hit by the car before he fires his shot. So this video has changed everything so far as what's going on. Now, listen, in March, we're leaving on our 10th annual MAGA cruise. This is in Aruba. This is from a couple of cruises ago. Join us on our next MAGA cruise. We're going to San Juan, Puerto Rico, Puerto Plata in the Dominican Republic, and the Virgin Islands. You're all invited. We leave in March on the Celebrity Beyond. The number is 561-244-5779. And this video is from our cruise when we went to Aruba. And you can see we have a great time. It's a great group of MAGA listeners. This is our 10th annual MAGA cruise. It's my annual vacation, and you're all invited. This is us. This here, if you look at these, let me show this to you. This is, we went to this beautiful beach resort in one of the islands. First thing we do on every cruise, we charter a private boat or sailboat, and we go snorkeling, and that's what this is. And we're having a good time. These are some of our listeners. We're just having a great time on this. So that's me with my daughter. I just got out of the water. That's, of course, before I lost all my weight with Coastal Weight Loss Secret. And we were snorkeling over a shipwreck. Here we are at the beach resort, open bar. That's Ian, our travel agent, with the drinks. He and I were the bartenders. That was a fun day, I got to tell you. We had a great time there. You're all invited. Call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot. This was really cool. We were deep inside a cave on one of the islands we went to. I forget which one. And we had a great time. We had to go to the top of this mountain and then into a cave. And I took a group photo of our group. This is us at a rum factory tour. That's my friend Rob. He and his wife Leah go on our cruises. We're having a good time. Here's us walking up to the cave. Those are all our listeners. Here's me in the cave. We have a lot of fun. And then we took an evening cruise on another private boat that we chartered, and took a nighttime cruise together and just had a great time. And you're all invited. See that the sun's going down? This might have been Aruba too. This is dinner, which is just was a great time. We have dinner together every night, have these great excursions. And we're going on the Celebrity Beyond this time. We have some great shore excursions planned on this one. This is on the ship early in the morning. This is like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. And I woke up, got my coffee, and I'm just hanging out and had breakfast. Look at this. And you can see that glass bottle back here? Drinks are included. And it's not just alcohol. All the food and everything's included. I'm drinking Evian out of a glass bottle. It's pretty fancy. That's included in the drink package. This is called the Magic Carpet, and it's a bar that's on the side of the ship, and this actually goes up and down like an elevator, not while you're on it. And we have a private cocktail party on the Magic Carpet. There's one on the Celebrity Beyond. It's a lot of fun. You see it hangs off the side of the ship. Here I am on it, and these are some of our listeners. You can see, yeah. And that's this is the Martini Bar at night. This is called the Silent Disco, where you don't hear any music unless you got headphones on. And there's 4 or 5 different types of music. Some people are listening to club music. Some people are listening to disco, some rock, some country. Everyone's listening to different music. And we're just having a great time. And yes. And you're invited. Call Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot. You can call him right now. If you get his voicemail, leave a message, but you can get him over the weekend. And join us on our MAGA cruise. If you're already joining us, make sure you call and set up the shore excursions because they are filling up. 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779 for Ian at Cruise and Travel Depot. Join us on our 10th annual MAGA Cruise. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Bill from Sanford.
Hey, Bill, hold on one second. Somebody asked, do any singles go? Not only do, yes, a lot of singles go on our cruise, and there's one couple that are listeners that came from different parts of the country. They met on the cruise, both came single, and now they're married. So anyway, yes, go ahead, Sanford. What's up, Bill?
I missed the first probably 30-some minutes of your program. I don't know if you've shown it or if you know, but something shocked me. I saw the Chicago police superintendent come out and say the danger of blocking law enforcement.
Yes, I saw that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I saw that.
That from Chicago. I mean, oh my God.
Yeah, for some reason the Chicago Police Department doesn't have a police chief. They call their chief the superintendent. But that's how bad it is that you've got the superintendent of the Chicago Police Department saying that federal agents are cops too, and their orders are lawful.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the best I've ever seen out of any city. I mean, this guy he ought to run for mayor. I was born in the south side of Chicago. And I'm telling you, this guy would make a great mayor.
Maybe. I wouldn't judge him on one statement. Okay, it's still Chicago. But yeah, it is surprising.
Yeah. Anyways, I just wanted to bring that up.
All right.
And in case you haven't seen it.
Okay, no, I did see it. All right, I appreciate the call. Take care. If you're on hold, hang in there. This is also in Iran, where the freedom protesters in Iran have taken over a city. Look at this. And the government has done nothing because of Trump. Trump told them, if you act out against these protesters, I'm coming to get you. We're on the verge of Iran's Islamic government completely falling. I never thought we would see this. I mean, look at this. President Trump is doing such amazing work, isn't he? I mean, they're out there by, I don't know, there may be 1 million people in the streets of Iran. I don't know. But, and we're getting the footage out, right? And, you know, they do everything they can do. They shut down cell and internet, the Iranians, but we're getting all this footage out. And these are some of the bravest people I've ever seen in my life. You know, back when, you know, if Trump wasn't in office, all these people would be executed and their families just for doing what they're doing. Something we take for granted in the United States, right? Exercising free speech, free expression, freedom of assembly. And if you notice, they're more peaceful. These Iranian protesters, they're more peaceful than these spoiled liberal brats in Minneapolis and in Portland, aren't they? Yeah. And the protesters it's growing and growing and growing because now they know Trump's got their back and they're not going to be mowed down in the streets by the regime. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. How you doing? This is Maria from Florida.
Hey, Maria. I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
How are you? How is your new year going?
It's going well. Thank you very much.
Oh. Okay. I do have a question, and a serious question. I just want to say, the lady, I don't really know her now. I didn't really follow because I really don't care what her name is. I feel bad for the family and the children. I do feel sorry for them because it didn't have to end up that way. But what I do have to say, when you are pleading, when you are boxing, when you are attacking the federal agent, they are like police. It's the same thing as you need to respect police. You need to respect the ICE agent. You need to respect law and order. And if you don't do that, bad things can happen. And in this case...
One moment while I answer all these lines coming in. Yeah, go ahead. If you don't do that, bad things can happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
right. If you don't follow the law, bad things can happen to you. You can either end up in jail or either death.
Correct.
Either way it goes, you have to follow the law. And the thing it is, it's being egged on by the mayor and the governor there. Mm-hmm. All blue cities are doing this, and it's outrageous that anyone from the media on down to do what they have done here. And what they done convinced a lot of crazy people, and I'm going to call it like it is, crazy people to believe one side of the story. And I just think at the end of the day, we as Americans that care about Americans, don't need to follow these kind of people anymore because this is outrageous.
It sure is.
And I just think at the end of the day, we all need to come together and we need to stand with our law officers, our agents, our ICE agents, because they are doing a remarkable job. Look at what they're going through. Mm-hmm. Their family home waiting to see if they're going to make it home alive or safe. Correct. And there's no guarantee in that.
Correct.
So I just want to reach out and say I support them 100%, and I pray for they well-being of why they out there.
Absolutely. All right. Well, you made some good points. Great words of wisdom. Thanks for your call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Morning, Brian, California.
Hey, what's up?
I don't know if you by chance ended up hearing about this, but that Mayor Fry, his wife is an attorney, and supposedly his wife, who's the attorney, was representing somebody's daycare.
Wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, I did see something about that, about her connection.
Yeah, which is really interesting. And then on top of that, I don't know if you also saw this, but you know how they were having these with Minnesota Ice Watch? Well, some nifty internet sleuth ended up actually going down a rabbit hole and finding out that these organizations are basically 501c3. So
nonprofits.
Basically, our tax dollars are funding these people. So knowing President Trump, that's going to stop in awful quick.
He sure did. He sure did.
So, which is really nice to know that we have somebody out there fighting for us.
Yeah, well, listen, President Trump's not going to mess around. If you remember in his first term when the BLM was defacing the government monuments and everything, and he made it a federal crime, minimum 10 years in prison, it stopped overnight. Something like that's going to happen here, would be my guess.
I can't wait. Thank you so much for all of your hard work.
All right, appreciate it. Take care. Now, if you're new to my program, my name's Brian. This is Where MAGA Comes to Talk. Make sure that you subscribe, all right? I'm going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. All right, we're back. I'm Brian. It is the Brian Craig Show. Welcome, everyone. Subscribe if you're new. You know, Jamie Levac at Swift Tax. You heard Lewis. He's one of our listeners here and watches on YouTube, and he just an amazing story. Jamie Levac, he is based in South Florida where I am, but he can help you with your taxes no matter where you are in the world. If you're in another state or country, he can help you with your taxes. He does incredible work. And the entire tax code has changed this year. You want to make sure that you get the maximum refund you can, and Jamie Levac of Swift Tax is going to make sure that you do. If you're in a state with state income tax or local taxes like they have in New York City, he can help you with all of that as well. This number rings directly to Jamie Levac. Give him a call. Get the biggest tax return that you are entitled to, all right? 954-773-1587. This number rings directly to Jamie Levac at Swift Tax. 954-773-1587. That's 954-773-1587. Make sure you tell him I sent you. All right, now back to this. This is, everything that's been going on in Minneapolis. Brett Baer on Fox News reported this. Mm-hmm. That's right. Wow. Drive, baby, drive, drive. Now he's a doctor. Oh, Keith Ellison. Well, the law disagrees, and the federal government disagree, and this is it. I mean, we are moving into just crazy town. I mean, and you look at what this is from Frontlines, from Turning Point. And this is last night in Minneapolis. This is heating up. And this is where they are gathering out in front of this hotel where it was reported that ICE agents were staying. I mean, look at the level of violence. They're going after their own liberal police officers that are against ICE too. These are the police officers who refuse to give backup to the ICE agents. They're just going after everyone now. It's what's happening here is because of the mayor and the governor and the weak police chief, but mostly the mayor and the governor, it's becoming anarchy in Minneapolis. And watch this one office. I mean, look at this. These aren't ICE agents. It's Minneapolis police. They're running in retreat. Even the local police are terrified. I've never seen police so scared in my life as these guys. Never seen anything like this. And you can tell they're scared. Now watch this one guy. He's the one officer. He's walking backwards. Look at this. Boom. He walked right into his own cruiser there and almost fell over it. That's how dangerous they are. When they're attacking their own, they've lost all sense of reality. This is also this is also last night in Minneapolis, just to show you how bad it's gotten there. You know, and look at this. They're inside this place, tearing it up. They're looting local businesses. They're just breaking in and looting. What does this have to do with ICE? Right? You know, they're just going around and destroying things now. And the media are portraying this as if these are some social justice warriors that just want justice done. This is anything other than law-abiding and justice. This is an out-of-control mob. And they're big on the F word. That's like the most common word that they use. It's, and attacking their own. This has nothing to do with ICE. And I still stand by that the Democrats have unleashed these Antifa and other liberal weirdo activists to try to stop the federal investigators from investigating the fraud that was exposed by Nick Shirley. This is last night on Newsmax. Greg Kelly, and he's got a law enforcement expert talking about the video that the ICE officer took. Yeah, this video is with the audio is such high quality that it's not even up for debate. What's happening here, right? Now here, this is just crazy town. Okay, here you have. Let's see what MSNBC has to say. If you're on hold, hang in there. If you'd like to call in, the number's pinned in the live chat. It's a toll-free call no matter where you're watching. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. Jen Psaki over here. Ugh. Well, that's a good thing because the local police have lost control. That's amazing. More ICE agents than police in Minneapolis. Good. Well, I mean, every time I've been pulled over by the police, I've had a valid driver's license. Because you have documentation, they can't pull you over. You get pulled over, they verify you. And what happens when you get pulled over in a regular stop? They take your license, they go back to the cruiser and run it and see if you are who you say you are in your ID and if you got any warrants, right? Yeah. And why are these people walking around with passports? Is that the only ID they have? And does it have a stamp in it? You know what I mean? Is the passport stamped? Now, there was a story that dropped yesterday that is a big game changer, and this is one I was very surprised to see this. Marjorie Taylor Greene. If you remember, a few months back, was it September? President Trump went out to dinner, and Code Pink showed up. Secret Service is now investigating. They believe that Marjorie Taylor Greene tipped off the Secret Service that the president was going to be going to that restaurant that night. And this is before her and the president had a falling out. This was reported by Axios, by the way, and it's being reported in multiple other sources this morning. You can look it up for yourself. Marjorie Taylor Greene has been very friendly with, since she left, openly friendly with Code Pink, and it is believed by the Secret Service, this is the point of their investigation, that she told Code Pink where the president was going to be, and that's how they got there. Now, what crime that is, I don't know, but the president's life was in danger by doing that, and she hasn't been MAGA for a long time, if ever. All right, now I'm going to take a quick break. When we get back, I got much more that I'm going to cover, so don't go anywhere. My name is Brian. This is the Brian Craig Show podcast. Back after this. All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Brian Craig Show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Callers on hold, hang in there. This really blew me away. Conan O'Brien, he's over in the UK, and he gave an interview, and he was talking about these Trump-hating comedians, and he could find himself in a lot of trouble here because, you know, he had that party that Rob Reiner and his whole family were at the night of the murder of Rob Reiner and his wife, and there was a lot of reporting that there was a fight between Rob Reiner, his wife, and the son that was so bad people wanted to call the police. And Conan O'Brien, it was his house, his party. It was reported that Conan O'Brien talked people out of calling the police. And of course, people are saying, well, if the police would have come, Rob Reiner and his wife would be alive today. Maybe, and Conan O'Brien, who kind of escaped this, he went over, he did this interview, and he starts attacking the liberal comedians. So let's find out if Hollywood starts to turn on Conan and blame the Rob Reiner murders on him. Mm. Wow. Yeah. So let's find out. You know, that clip it's the weekend. There's a lot going on in the news, but it's getting circulated quite a bit, and there's a strong possibility that Conan O'Brien finds Hollywood blaming him for the murder of Rob Reiner and Rob Reiner's wife because he's attacking Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Kimmel and all the rest. Here's America's sweetheart, Jasmine Crockett, as she, it's going to be her last year in Congress because her district is now gone with the redistricting, and she has no hope in winning the Senate race in Texas. She's out of her mind she's comparing the assassination of Charlie Kirk to this lunatic woman and her wife that confronted the ICE officers. You know, the thing about the liberals, you hear when I talk to liberals on this program, and, I've talked about how the left have changed. And since I've been doing this show, if you're on hold, stand by, okay? I'll take some more calls in a moment. I've always taken calls from people who disagree with me, and I still do that today. Liberals have always been wrong, but they've never been like they are now. They're beyond reasoning, and if you disagree with them, they want you gone, right? They shot the president. They tried to shoot him again. They assassinated Charlie Kirk. You see the violence of the left. Remember when that Luigi lunatic murdered in cold blood on the street and assassinated the insurance company executive They've turned him into a sex symbol, and they were all rallying behind him and blaming the executive for the assassination of himself. We've gotten into a new place with the left where they're not as big as they used to be. There's a lot fewer Democrats than there were a couple years ago. Butler did a lot of red pilling, and more people are getting red pilled each and every day. And the Democrats, the few that are left, are an angry mob. And a lot of them are going to find themselves in prison. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air.
Brother Brian. Good morning.
Hey, what's up?
All these people with their crocodile tears, you know, police chiefs, commissioners, not jobs, all with the emotions crying all over the time, knowing that they're wrong, you know what they've done. You know what? Trump has enough of a base that he doesn't even need to convert any more of you knuckleheads and no more of you Democrats.
Yeah.
We already have a strong base that you guys can do what you want, but you're going to make him pull that final card, and we still have 2.5 years minimum to go. Mm-hmm. And when he pulls Ness and Dorma on you guys, the final act, what he's going to do is Brian uses the terminology of the frog in the pot. So he's letting America get boiling hot enough for the anger. Then
That's true. Hold on, IB. I'm going to answer some of these other lines because the phones are lighting up. Yeah, go ahead, IB.
When he needs America to get more hot and angry in what they're seeing. And I'm going to say something next week that I'm not going to say right now, having to do with Minnesota, and we're just skirting the minimum of the fraud, 9 to 19 to how many more billions of dollars.
Well, see, you know, IB, what I've been talking about today is this increase in violence against ICE. I believe are the Democrats in a panic trying to stop the fraud investigation from continuing. They're trying to not just distract; they're trying to stop it. And that's not going to happen.
And there's something I'm going to say about that, and Trump is going to bring it back to Minnesota. No matter what they're doing to deflect, there's something more even sinister going on than the money itself, having to do with illegal transportation of people from anywhere from kids to adults. Yeah. And we're going to talk about that later. And Trump is holding that card, and Minnesota will be back into the spotlight. And even though they try to get off television.
IB, I appreciate the call, IB. IB is right on most things there. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm Carlos. I'm from Tallahassee. I just want to talk about, well, first of all, I'm Venezuelan. I'm very happy that Maduro is gone. Mm-hmm. Number one, I really despise that sort of person he was and what he did to other people. But I can't help but think that the reasons for his arrest were kind of stretched. I don't really think it was ever about drugs. I think it was more about an oil grab than it really was about drugs.
No, we've got more oil in this country than we can even drill in the United States. The United States is the #1 producer of oil in the world. Venezuela, and by the way, Tallahassee, where do you go to? You go to FSU?
Yeah.
Okay, Florida State. My wife's an alumni of Florida State University. That's where my wife went to college.
Yeah, go Noles.
That's right. That's right. Venezuela, for your entire lifetime and more, right, because of your age, have been attacking the United States nonstop, right, through sending the violent felons through the southern border, the Trende guys and all that, the drugs from the cartels, the list goes on. And that's it. And what President Trump is doing in Latin America is he's formed an alliance. We have allies, the United States, in Latin America now. Venezuela's the newest. El Salvador, Honduras, Chile, and Argentina. So we have these 5 countries aligned together with the United States. And what President Trump's trying to do is secure Latin America because they've been such a threat to us in our way of life with the drugs, with the illegals. And you know, what you might find yourself doing one day is moving to Venezuela. You're Venezuelan, you said. You're in college here in this country. When the oil companies go down there, President Trump had a meeting with the oil executives yesterday, and they get Venezuela back on track. Venezuela is going to be quite possibly the wealthiest nation in Latin America. It's going to be like Dubai. People down there are going to be driving Porsches and Lambos because of this liberation. It's not to take the oil. We have plenty in this country. It's to stabilize the Western Hemisphere.
See, I can see how that could be like a claim, but, you know, considering he has sort of denied the opposition leader Machado a chance of getting put in place there, and it's instead vowed for Delcy Rodriguez, I really don't know if this actually is about securing the Western Hemisphere, because Delcy Rodriguez is a known sort of Maduro loyalist and has also her history
that's Maduro's vice president. That's the president now.
Yeah, she is.
The reason that is, and I'll explain this to you. Okay, she's in there temporarily. Okay, she's not legitimate. But when a country's government falls, when something like this happens, you've got to keep the people in place until you fully take over and secure it, because if you were to remove everyone from the government, like her immediately, and the generals and all these people, the whole country would fall apart. The infrastructure, right? The water treatment plants, the power plants, the police. If you remove everyone, you've got an anarchy. So you got to keep in place these people temporarily while we reform and secure it. And then there'll be an election at some point. It may not be for 5 years, but there will eventually be an election. And she's in there very temporarily.
Okay, and I understand, like with Machado and stuff. Do you believe that in the future Machado could be elected?
I don't know. There's going to be. I don't know who's popular or not in Venezuela. Just because someone's popular in our media or by the Nobel Committee doesn't necessarily mean they're capable of winning a national election in Venezuela. There'll be a free election at some point in the future in Venezuela. And Venezuelans will decide who the president is. Everybody will be able to run, just like you can here.
Okay. And then, like, moving on from that point, like, another thing I want to talk about was sort of Greenland. I do understand that our administration currently wants to sort of, I don't know what the word is, I don't know if it should be annex or take on Greenland, but I do want to talk about, we have an agreement already with the Kingdom of Denmark to sort of allow our military to move within Greenland. So I don't understand when they claim that it's about defense of the Western Hemisphere and the Northern Hemisphere and North America, when we already have the capabilities to move our military through that country.
Well, I'll tell you, this is why. China and Russia have been operating with a lot of America's enemies, right? They were operating with Venezuela. They've been operating with Cuba. They're also operating throughout all of the Americas, throughout the Caribbean. China is very much involved throughout the Caribbean, and China and Russia, but mostly China, are operating in Greenland as well, and around Greenland. And we have all these agreements, but it's still Denmark territory. So China and Russia really don't, there's no fear of Denmark, right? It's a tiny little insignificant country. At the moment that Greenland becomes U.S. soil, they won't dare step foot into Greenland waters or on the land because it's U.S. soil. It secures the region. They're not afraid of Denmark. We can have our whole military there, but they're not going to stop coming into their water, because what's Denmark going to do, right? So that's why. If it becomes U.S. soil, China and Russia will not mess around with Greenland anymore, because they are afraid of the United States. I know you probably don't get this kind of information at Florida State, but you got liberal college professors. But these are all things that are very true. And Cuba's about ready to fall because they're no longer getting the Venezuelan oil, and who knows how that's going to come down. But they got to be pretty much out of gasoline down there now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand. Well, I would agree that Cuba has been long in need of a sort of replacement of their current government. But I will say I'm very for a sort of, a change in the Western Hemisphere, specifically in South America and Cuba and the Caribbean. There have been a rise of autocracies in our neighborhood that aren't really standing for what we believe in.
Yeah.
I don't fully believe that what our administration is doing there to sort of liberate is for the right.
Have you been to South America? Because you're Venezuelan by nationality, but have you been here all your life in Florida?
I've been in the Caribbean. I've been in Puerto Rico. I've been around Caribbean. I haven't been in South America mostly because of the situation over there.
Puerto Rico, I've been to Puerto Rico many times, and actually our MAGA cruise, we're going to San Juan in March. You guys are invited. Puerto Rico is modern and first world. It's the only place in America that is uncorrupt. It's not corrupt and it's first world, and that's because it's part of the United States, Puerto Rico. I've been to South America, and it's scary down there, okay? South America, all of Latin America. I've been in South America, I've been in Mexico. Latin America is a scary place. It's run by corrupt public officials that are in the pocket of the drug cartels, mostly. And they have all the resources and everything that we have in the United States, but it's so third world because the drug cartels are running it. And what President Trump is doing is turning Latin America bringing them out of the third world into the first world. And it's going to make everything so much better for everyone. We're not down there to conquer it or to steal their oil. We don't need their oil. We cannot even drill. Here in Florida, as an example, the Florida Everglades are filled with oil. There's oil wells in the Florida Everglades that have been there for over 100 years. There's so much oil we don't drill for. We have an unlimited supply of oil in the United States. We don't need Venezuelan oil. But what we need is Venezuela to stop sending drugs and to stop sending violent gang members across our border, raping and murdering our people. That's what this is all about.
Yeah, but then by that logic, shouldn't we be focusing more on Mexico then?
Oh, that's coming. We got a lot of control with Mexico because of how close they are to us, right? So that's why we built the wall down there. We've shut down the border between the United States and Mexico. It's completely shut down now. And it's been shut down since Trump came into his second term, and the wall's almost finished. So we've been dealing with Mexico in a different way. And blowing the boats out of the water filled with fentanyl and all this. This is all good. And the president's going to meet in person at the White House with this corrupt president of Colombia and get him under control.
I mean, the only issue I have with the sort of drug boats being shot and all that stuff is that I've been looking at the data myself, and sort of the main flow of cocaine and fentanyl from Venezuela has been by air, actually, more than water.
Well, that's down too.
So I feel like, with the drug boat stuff, and I feel like we should be prioritizing more of our. What should be publicized more is the fact that it's coming in through air more often than it is by sea.
Not these days anymore. No, it's not. In fact, illegal drug importation in the United States under Donald Trump is down 97%. 97% down because of what he's been doing. Shutting down the border, stopping the sea lanes, and they are doing it by air too, down 97%. That's amazing.
Yeah. And I feel like another thing to talk about is that a lot of the times with sort of this idea that there are individuals smuggling drugs into our border, specifically from Venezuela, I also do want to talk about the fact that a majority of these people can actually sometimes be U.S. citizens recruited by these drug cartels to do such things.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're right.
I feel like that is an issue that should be addressed as well.
Yeah, well, if we catch them, they'll go to prison. And if they're on those boats, they'll get blown up too. But we haven't seen any boats blown up in the last week. They've stopped. There's no more, the drug boats have stopped.
Yeah, there's been mostly oil tanker seizures now.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. People are afraid to transport illegal drugs into the country. They don't want to get blown up now. And Maduro's not there to hold their families hostages and make them do it anymore if he was doing that.
Yeah. And I think with my final issue that I have was, I remember early on in the live you were talking about Trump threatening the government of Iran with any suppression of the protests, but I also do believe that I don't think it is about this idea of liberty. I feel like it's more of just because Iran isn't on the side of the U.S.
Well, Iran, Iran, the Islamic Republic, the Islamic Revolution was in 1979. That's when they took the U.S. embassy, right? And what Iran has been doing since 1979 is funding and backing almost all of the Islamic terrorism around the world against us and other countries, right? So, they've been nothing but a thorn in our side, causing all kinds of chaos, Iran. And they're our enemy. I mean, they've been killing Americans and people from our allies since 1979. Iran used to be, before the Islamic Revolution, Iran were friends and allies of the United States back in the days of the Shah of Iran. He was put in place in the 50s by the CIA, by the United States, but he was still our friend. And it's a good thing that the Islamic Republic is about to fall. It's a very good thing. A lot of the terrorism will dry up. President Trump has made so many countries in the Middle East our friends and allies now, like Syria, that Islamic terrorism is becoming extinct. It really is. There's not as much of it as there used to be.
Yeah. I will agree that we have started to make more friends in the Middle East. I don't like the way you are talking about it as an Islamic Republic. It is essentially an autocracy.
No, it's called, the name of the country is, no, the official name is the Islamic Republic of Iran. That's their official name. Like, we're not America, we're the United States of America. Their official name is the Islamic Republic of Iran. That is their official name.
I mean, officially they can call themselves that, but we see it essentially now as an autocracy.
They're run by the Ayatollah. They're run by the Ayatollah.
Yeah.
Who's their religious leader. They have a president and all that, but he answers to the Ayatollah, the Islamic leader.
Essentially making it a dictatorship.
It is an Islamic theocracy and dictatorship, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all of it. It's an Islamic theocracy and a dictatorship trying to parade itself around as a democracy, but it's not. These countries call this, like East Germany. When East Germany existed, they called themselves the Democratic Republic of Germany. East Germany, the communist part. I mean, what they call them, you understand what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Well, listen, I'm glad you found me, and make sure you subscribe and call me again sometime.
Okay, thank you.
All right, well, thank you. Thank you. Wow, some really good calls on the program today. Thanks so much. Yeah, those of you that are new, make sure that you subscribe, okay? This is most definitely where MAGA comes to talk, but you don't have to be MAGA to talk to me. I take calls from people regardless of your political beliefs, and I'm always open to a conversation. That young man that just called from Florida State University, we disagreed on everything, but we had a good conversation, didn't we? And, with most of the liberals that you hear from, not just here, but you see them at these different events around the country, they're not interested in a conversation. Where we disagree is not as far apart as you think. You have a lot of unhinged weirdos that are at these events all over the country, no doubt about it, but we don't disagree as much as you think. And those of you that are new, anytime I'm live streaming in the studio, I am always taking live calls. If you'd like to support my channel and my content, my radio show, my podcast, my YouTube channel, become a Patreon supporter. There's a link in the description here on YouTube to my Patreon page, or you can go directly to patreon.com/Real Brian Craig Show, patreon.com/Real Brian Craig Show. But there is a link in the description. And if you become a Patreon supporter, you get access to commercial-free editions of all my podcast episodes, plus a lot of exclusive things that my wife and I both post to Patreon that no one else has access to. I also do Patreon-only live streams that are done on the Patreon platform. It is a troll-free zone, no liberal lunatics in there. And you get access to all of that and more. So become a Patreon supporter, support the program. Again, there's a link in the description at patreon.com/Real Brian Craig Show, but the link is in the description of the video. My name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Thanks for tuning in. I will